In the realm of aviation, a perplexing phenomenon has captivated minds and spawned countless theories. The mysterious disappearances of airplanes. These unexplained vanishing acts have left investigators baffled, prompting questions about the unseen forces that conspire to erase these mighty machines from the skies. From the Bermuda Triangle to remote corners of the globe, these incidents defy comprehension and ignite the imagination, leaving us to contemplate about the boundless mysteries that lurk above. Join us as we delve into the enigma of airplane disappearances, exploring the chilling tales and unanswered questions that have haunted the aviation community and beyond. On the dark and stormy night of June 1st, 2009, Air France Flight 447 embarked on a routine journey from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, to Paris, France. Little did the passengers and crew know that this fateful flight would become one of the most mysterious and tragic aviation disasters in history. As the Airbus A330-203 took off, the atmosphere was filled with excitement and anticipation. The passengers settled into their seats, oblivious to the invisible dangers that lurked high above the vast Atlantic Ocean. The experienced flight crew, composed of Captain Marc Dubois, First Officer David Robert, and Junior First Officer Pierre-Cedric Bonin, prepared themselves for a smooth and uneventful flight. Hours passed, and the airplane soared above the serene clouds. Suddenly, turbulence jolted the aircraft, and the autopilot disengaged. Unbeknownst to the crew, they had entered a region of severe thunderstorms, concealing the treacherous forces that lay ahead. As the flight encountered heavy rain and hail, the pilot tubes, essential instruments that measure airspeed, became obstructed. Confusion and uncertainty filled the cockpit as the flight crew struggled to comprehend the situation. With the loss of reliable airspeed data, the flight management computers disengaged, and the aircraft system switched to alternate law. The cockpit was filled with alarms and warnings, adding to the already chaotic scene. In the midst of the storm, First Officer Bonin, attempting to regain control, pulled back on the control stick, causing the aircraft to climb rapidly. The angle of attack, the angle between the wing, and the oncoming airflow increased to a dangerous level. Despite the stall warning, the crew remained unaware that the aircraft had entered an aerodynamic stall. As the airplane lost altitude and speed, Captain Dubois returned to the cockpit. However, the crew's efforts to recover from the stall proved futile. Their inputs were contradictory, exacerbating the situation. The aircraft, trapped in an unrecoverable stall, began a rapid descent towards the vast ocean below. The passengers, unaware of the imminent danger, experienced a terrifying freefall. The thunderous sound of rain and hail pounding against the fuselage mingled with cries of fear and desperation. In a matter of minutes, Flight 447 met its tragic fate, plunging into the dark depths of the Atlantic Ocean. Days turned into weeks, as search and rescue teams scoured the vast expanse of the ocean, hoping to find survivors or clues to the plane's disappearance. Finally, after an agonizing search, the wreckage of Air France Flight 447 was discovered deep beneath the surface, resting on the ocean floor. On a fateful day in December 1945, 5 torpedo bombers embarked on a routine training mission from Naval Air Station Fort Lauderdale in Florida. This squadron of planes, known as Flight 19, consisted of experienced pilots and crew, ready to sharpen their skills in the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean. None of them could have predicted the mysterious turn of events that awaited them. Led by Lieutenant Charles Taylor, Flight 19 took off into the clear blue sky, their engines roaring with anticipation. The mission seemed straightforward. A navigation exercise to fly northeast, drop some practice bombs near the Bahamas, and then return to base. Little did they know that the circumstances ahead would challenge their abilities and alter their destinies forever. As the afternoon progressed, the weather began to deteriorate rapidly. Thick banks of fog rolled in, engulfing the pilots and limiting their visibility. In an unfortunate twist, Lieutenant Taylor's compass malfunctioned, leaving him disoriented and unsure of their position. The pilots relied heavily on their training, trying to navigate by the sun, but the overcast skies rendered their attempts futile. Confusion and anxiety spread among the crew as they realized they had veered off course, but Lieutenant Taylor, determined to find their bearings, pressed on. Their radio communications became increasingly frantic, filled with urgency and distress. Distorted signals and static further complicated their attempts to contact their base. As the hours passed, fuel levels dwindled, and desperation filled the cockpit. The pilots scanned the horizon for any signs of land, but all they saw was an endless stretch of gray water, devoid of hope. Gradually, one by one, the tormented voices of Flight 19 faded into silence. Rescue missions were immediately dispatched, searching tirelessly for any trace of the lost squadron. The Navy sent an additional 13 men on a search and rescue mission in a Marine flying boat. They too were never seen or heard from again. Despite the extensive efforts, no wreckage or survivors were ever found. Flight 19 had vanished into thin air, leaving behind only unanswered questions and a haunting mystery. Numerous theories emerged to explain the disappearance. Some suggested that the squadron encountered a powerful vortex, or an atmospheric phenomenon that swallowed them whole. Others proposed the involvement of extraterrestrial forces, abductions, or even encounters with the legendary Bermuda Triangle, a region notorious for its unexplained disappearances. Years went by, and Flight 19 became a haunting legend in aviation history. To this day, the story of Flight 19 remains an unsolved enigma, a tale of tragedy that captivates the imagination. The mystery lingers, reminding us that even in the age of advanced technology, there are still mysteries in the vastness of the world that defy explanation, forever shrouded in the mist of uncertainty. Most recently, on a calm evening in March 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 prepared for a routine overnight journey from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. The Boeing 777, carrying 239 passengers and crew, stood on the runway ready to embark on a flight that would ultimately become one of the most perplexing aviation mysteries in modern history. Under the command of Captain Zahari Ahmad, the aircraft took off smoothly, soaring into the night sky. Passengers settled into their seats, unaware of the unimaginable events that would soon unfold. For several hours, the flight progressed uneventfully, cruising above the vast expanse of the Indian Ocean. As the journey continued, something inexplicable occurred. Communication with the aircraft suddenly ceased, leaving air traffic controllers puzzled and concerned. Panic set in as efforts were made to re-establish contact, but MH370 seemed to have vanished into thin air, like a ghost in the night. An extensive search and rescue operation swung into action, spanning vast distances of ocean and involving numerous countries. Satellites were mobilized, radar data scrutinized, and ships scoured the waves. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, but the aircraft remained elusive, defying all attempts to locate it. Speculation and theories spread like wildfire, each offering a different explanation for the disappearance. Some hypothesized that the aircraft suffered a catastrophic mechanical failure, while others believed it was a deliberate act of sabotage. The media dubbed it the greatest aviation mystery of our time, captivating the attention of the world. As the search continued, fragments of information gradually surfaced. Satellite pings suggested that the aircraft had veered off its planned route, deviating into remote areas of the southern Indian Ocean. However, even with this knowledge, the vastness of the ocean made the task of locating the wreckage a monumental challenge. Families of the passengers and crew clung to hope, desperately seeking answers and closure. Their anguish and uncertainty became a symbol of the human toll inflicted by this baffling event. Governments, aviation experts, and volunteers rallied together, driven by a shared determination to uncover the truth. Years went by, and the search gradually lost momentum. Despite sporadic discoveries of debris washed distantly ashore, the main wreckage of MH370 remains elusive. The fate of the aircraft and the souls aboard it continue to elude the grasp of those yearning for resolution. To this day, the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 remains another haunting mystery. It serves as a poignant reminder of the vastness of our world and the limits of our understanding.